Let's be seated. Honorable Chief Justice and President of the Supreme Court of Kenya, Honorable Deputy Chief Justice and Deputy President of the Supreme Court of Kenya, the Chief Registrar of the Judiciary, our distinguished guests representing the offices of the Attorney General, the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions, the Law Society of Kenya, the Senior Counsel, the Witness Protection Agency, and the Kenya School of Law, and importantly, our 920 guests today. Good morning. Good morning again. Honorable Chief Justice, today you have the biggest number. We have 920 petitioners. This is the first time we are meeting such a big number today. You have gone through their papers, you have confirmed that they are in order, and they are here today, this morning, to take the oath before you. We will start the program by confirming their presence. So I'll read out your names, and when you hear your name, you'll be up and standing, and you respond by saying, "Present, my lady," as loud as possible so that the Chief Justice can hear you and that she can see you. Leona Ongosha Asiema. Leona, we didn't hear you. Nana Kavele Kasioka, Lewis Ng'ang'a, Vincent Onyango Ocheng, Grace Akinyi Ouma, Betty Chepngetich Bungei, Ahmed Abdi Farah, Evelyn James, Sandra Ayako Anya, Stella Wamboi Kinukia, Ndungu Karanja, Purity Mudeu Mwanzia, Esther Nyawira Kariuki, Fiona Sandra Kendi Njagagwa, Consolata Nyambura Madenge, Rita Atieno Ogao, Lois Abio Abungu, Blessing Mudoni Wanjao, Abdi Sharam, Damaris Karuiru, Chepchumba Chesarek, John Kihara Wamboi, Hope Akuku Wandera, Mokeira Mada Nyandusi, Abio Gafo Jordan, Brenda Akia, Madeline Njoki Kiongo, Susan Wairimu Mugiora, Ndungu Rogers Imani, Chepngetich Masi, Sharon Nyambura Ndirangu, Naomi Wairimu Ngugi, Maina Florian Njoki, Gabriel Sikura Walubengo, Nancy Wangari Muriuki, Elovida Gaishugi, Happiness Akoth, Winnie Wamboi Wahome, Claudine Nanjala Wabwile, Zakayo Maingi, Arthur K. Kitwai, Kaluma, Alan Kimani Ndungu, Vivian Sanita Mora Morara, Dibra Wangoi Munywa, Joy Odego, Tracy Onyonyi, Eli Machimbo, Seleke Kevin Mutinda, Matenge Samuel Mathi, Peter Chalo Mutuku, Munguti Muthoki Jacinta, Victor Mugambi Mugo, John Ngugi Wanjiru, Joseph Kiburu Kangiri, Sharon Buyanzi Otieno, Hudson Mogaka Ondari, Samuel Njuguna Njenga, Shali Chepkirui Langat, Gloria Jebiwot Kiprop, Lois Mumbi Thuge, Diana Chepchumba Kirui, Ingrid Jepkemoi Lang, Marion Tomno, Mary Gesare Motari, Anthony Muoka, Robert Omondi Oundu, Chelangat Brenda, Peter Kinywa, Brian Eodu, Eda Ayuma Sihule, Simplicius Mwihaki Kibiro, Faustine Waweru Mburu, Collins Musonye Tieni, Sanjana Ragu, Jacinta Wangoi Waititu, Faith Sidi Harrison Karani, Otieno Willis Okelo, Brian Ocheng Okumu, Marion Wanja Thuku, Margaret Wanjiru Kangagi, Clarence Alvin Orlando Otieno, Albert Mwangi Mureithi, Waluhu Wanambisi, Javan Siwa Kandagor, Linet Mugure Kagunga, Trasi Gomba, Titus Wangai Ngugi Maina, Karau Grace Wamboi, Elizabeth Omuga Amojong, Linda Awor Omondi, Amy Chelangat, John Willis Onyango, Sherry Indiegu Kea, Peris Wamboi Waweru, Zita Mwende Nkonge, Nelson Mandela Mabera, Redempta Mino Mutinda, Amondi Wendy Vanessa, Valentine Kageha Musundi, Janet Asigo Onderi, Ben Oltina Ntari, Alfin Chepkoech, Kabale Guyo, Kevin Ombai Odhiambo, Linet Wanja Mwangi, Agrich Kipngetich Langat, Steve Kebenei, Joshua Moindi William, Faith Mwende Mukuma, Joshua Koome, Ndiwa Levi Cheptangat, Linet Jepkemboi Rotich, Benta Chepngetich, Wanjihia Chris Kahara, Stephen Munywa Ngigi, Cynthia Mbesa Munyao, Martha Waria Nyoike, Elizabeth Wangoi Kamau. Number 784, Emily Barishoi Talala, Ross Nyambura Gadhuru, Abdiaziz Guhad Muhammad, Naomi Chepkemoi, Joan Gaki Mburugu, Marion Joy Ochangwa, Abdihakim Abdinasir, Rebecca Patience Wandera, Enoch Mutweri Gatobu, Sharon Chemutai, Richard Gatitu Waidhaka, Christine Wamboi Ikere, Abigail Chemtai Naibei, Lona Mandere Mogeni, Cynthia Injehu, Julius Wandolo, Salma Nechesa Abdulaziz, Gor Anyango Rispa, Karani Kirimi, Mushai Monica Nungari, Sharon Mokeira Nyamao, Akinyi Wendy Maren, Elvin Waidera Mugo, Dexter Adaki Barasa, Quinta Acheng Omondi, Sharon Chepkirui Cheriot, Lorraine Mayoye, Chepkemoi Egla, Emma Wanjiku Washira, Patricia Amondi Migele, Alan Ombaso, Joan Wamboi Muriuki, Peter Kamande Ngugi, Nyongesa Alan Wanjala, Marenya Berry Lacheng, Laura Makungu Lumbasio, Lavin Sidialo, Monica Waiderero Mugo, Emily Luisa Amara, Samuel Wesonga Washika, Valerie Kasui Vinya, Winston Waweru Njenga, Samuel Koileken Lepore, Faith Daisy Akinyi, Masi Njeri Njoroge, Karitha Mueni Mwendwa, Mary Adhiambo Kuyo, Winnie Kaguria Mudhuri, Masi Jerop, Mwangi Margaret Wangari, Washeke Rita Esther Ndungu, Winnie Spencer, Moses Odoro Cheng, Rose Michelle Akinyi, Hagai Hawi Kadiri, Okita Isaac Felix, Conex Doris Mwaro, Yvonne Nduta Chege, Sandra Njau, Lakan Mumbi Ikeri, Brian Felix Odero, Chelsea Janet Akotho Dhiambo, Masi Nyambura Mwangi, Bradley Franklin Ojanji, Dairas Denning Kenyaga, Shweta Patel, Chantal Wanjiru Nganga, Omondi Ouma, Del David Otieno Omondi, Owen Kingori Maina, Purity Wanjiru Nyaguthi, Moses Konini Ratia, Jacqueline Nyaboke Mongare, Mukanda Lynn Crystali, Wasike Hilda Mulongo, Rahab Njeri, George Munene Kareko, Edith Jepkoskei Mukimutai, Mary Terry Mukoto, Robert Mosoti, Wendy Mwendwa Motuiri, Kiprono Abraham, Simatwa Audrey Cherotich, Python Mwangi Kahuho, Abna Kuzwayo Dlamini, Dalton Gatemi Nyoro, Brian Kibon Kimaru, Chebet Sharon Ngeno, Mukundi Gadhoni Lydia, Wendy Sara Nekesa Okanda, Lavenda Kanini Wambua, Sylvia Wanjira Mwangi, Kezia Mora Nyabuga, Doreen Kendi Nyaga, Tony Ombati, Cecilia Wangeshi Njeri, Bansi Kinywa, Dennis Kinuthia Kamau, Ishmael Odindo Yoga, Happiness Kwamboka Kosigin, Jain Mukulu Isika, Jaso Dami Abdikatir, Melan Chelangat Koech, Cynthia Wangari Nganga, Wambua Kioko, Asunta Adiru, June Anyangu, Masi Njeri Mbatia, Caroline Chepchirchir Koskei, Brian Ocheng Abor, Alva Louis Nyongesa, Jennifer Havere Obura, Elizabeth Mbaki Kilonzo, Haji Walera Mulimba, Molly Wanjiru Kabute, Sylvia Mai Simiyu, Bernadette Wanjiru Kabiru, Laura Nekesa Kokonya, Doreen Wesonga Hadiesi, Michelle Kemunto Ombui, Feva Nahabi Mangeni, Pius Kilonzo Maliti, Kipkesei Delphine Jepkorir, Luke Otieno, Cheropon Hana Tirop, Roy Kiplangat Kitur, Sumeya Yunis Ali Mursal, Flavia Lavia, Leonora Atieno Okeyo, Kibiwot Alvin Keitani, Victor Mwangi Wanjohi, Philomena Mbai, Gati Trazilin Magabe, Joy Kawira Kinoti, Purity Wanja Muhindi, Esther Muhindi Chalo. Are you really responding? Esther Muhindi Chalo, Mary Lucy Jabet Birgen, Alex Kamau Nganga, Amina Loho Abdullahi, Mary Wangoi Mureithi, Natalie Jemima Hawala, Patrick Ngei Mwendo, Brenda Njeri Wagura, Davis Kiprono, Neil Samuel Ogonji, Audrey Akinyi Ferry, Alando Jael Adede, Joy Jerotich Mayo, Wilfred Nakasi Kiberu, Tracy Kawira Kaburu, Grace Kadhigia Mwangi, Siwolo Owen Peter, Ajeline Musiawa Choiga, Jekonea Onganyi Okoth, Morris Onyango Okuon, Thandie Wanjiru Maina, Ngunjiri Misham Alex Maingi, Lona Mwethia Mwanza, Lynn Agafwa Opimbi, Bridget Atukelie Lugwe, Patrick Kisalei Saikong, Rachel Mora Sibwoga, Paul Akech, Stacy Adongo Angina, Benedict Mwendwa Munyoki, Valentine Wanjiru Nyarondia, Marion Minaywa Musasia, Abraham Juma Adero, Karon Mora Makori, Abel Chumba Kipieko, Brian Ocheng Opio, James Frederick Muhia, Charles Dickens Otieno, Wilson Kili Ngao, Joseph Kiblangat Arab Kokwon Siror. Nelson, yes, you respond like Joseph, so that we can hear you. Nelson Kidhuku Mureithi, Esther Akinyi Aruka, Matthew Tajeu Kisanga, Sandra Nyabate Maasi Mogeni, Stephen Njenga Ndungu, Tom Rateng Odoyo, Gabriela Wanja Kihara, Laventa Amakobe Omusi, Stasi Mwikali Kioko, Maureen Ndhamba Musau, Muyodi Manyasa Silas, Vola Awor Wanyande, Zela Atieno Okalo, Brian Wandera Okui, Agri Agata Moseti, Charles Wanyoike Igecha, Fatuma Abdallah Mohamed, Anthony Kipkemboi Kiprop, Emmanuel Kiprono Ngetich, Happiness Sudi Sirengo, Sylvia Arekula, Naomi Chebet, Farida Mansur Salim, Sela Nokuta Sampao, Jane Wairimu Maina, Eric Gadhuka Njoroge, Eldad Osiemo Oseko, Virginia Mumbe Ndunda, Dennis Kobian Toitha, Bilson Ogake Nyabuse Ogugu, Faith Mora Obunga, Eric Ndungu Njuguna, Kaituko Arot Colette, Ruben Kiiru Mburu, Brenda Awor Olo. Number 520, Lloyd Mutwiri Nyongesa, Michelle Abok Omondi, Faith Wanjiru Gishoya, Mark Gishuhi Njuguna, Morris Macharia Ndirangu, Dickens Otieno Ocheng, Eric Owino, Alex Kuria Maina, Mark Makomere, Ivy Chebet Biwot, Hope Selaina Kaloi, Alois Isumba Lishinga, Emily Mawia Mbua, Frank Mutethia Kirikiru, Tony Obare Omboga, Masi Cherono, Ann Dila Mwanzia, Laura Neema Olucho Omurunga, Michelle Lucy Musioka, Karen Ndete Mutisia, Banis Mugure Kimani, Elizabeth Nyaikenye Musioka, Alexander Charles Kembe, Mariam Chebet, Stella Jepkoech Kipkulei, Gloria Chepkorir Kirwa, Mary Wairimu Karumi, Simeon Onyego Mongare, Musa Mwana Amutuku, Kevin Karenju Mwangi, Naomi Cherotich, Brenda Karimi Kadhare, John Chege Kamiri, Emily Margaret Adhiambo, Teddy Joseph Ocheng Odhiambo, Jackson Masumbuko Wanjala, Josephat Munene Njoroge, Abigail Wangari Dhairu, Patrick Njihia Gadenga, Anne Brenda Wanjira Ndambuki, Celine Adhiambo Omolo, Alia Jilo Denge, David Ocheng Onyango, Pius Paul Mokua, Faith Chepkoech Kirui, Lina Wangeshi Munene, Nyabuto Mora Sylvia, Cromwell Alex Omondi Odhiambo, Duncan Okari Nyabuti, Gertrude Wayua Mulinge, Alan Kibet Kipkoech, Leonard Ocheng Ouma, Ernest Mwangi Kariko, Tum Joy, Ian Denning Nyabena, Idris Jamal Muye, Gloria Rose Asimwe, Esther Kisiangani, Vincent Mbogo Kirembu, Maria Goret Ngala, Ashley Marion Omondi. Ashley is number 460. We are halfway, so the first half can sit. Let's not take you through a harrowing experience. So the next half from number 459. Mary Washuka Kamau, you be up and you remain standing. Daniel DC Merishai, Christine Wangari wa Mahiga, Rebecca Kwamboka Ogao, Vincent Okech Lerwo, Michelle Kwamboka Bosire, Osodo William Oyamo, Jeremiah Mudhui Mumbi, Joan Chepkirui Langat, Jackson Kipruto Kemboi, Marion Sherin Otia, Rachel Consolata Ocheng, Lilian Wanja Muriuki, Shannon Auma Odwor, Rahab Wamboi Muiga, Sheila Nanjala Barasa, Wycliffe Ocheng Riako, Mungai Eric Ireri, Ezra Matanga Omanga, Tabitha Amoit, Ronald Saka Obonyo, Faith Njeri Wamunyu, Anita Siokau Maundu, Rachel Chepkemoi Powon, Salian Pendo Njiru, Kiambwa Gibson Mapesa, Kenneth Kipto, Brenda Nyansarora Owanda, Diana Chebet, Geoffrey Orina Oganga, Lorraine Chebet Serem, Kevin Reynard, David Karuki Mwangi, Karen Unity, Joshua Kipchumba Bowen, Michelle Wangu Mureithi, Diana Mother Acheng Okinda, Augustine Mureithi Washira, Annette Maureen Wanjiku Mwaura, Stephen Hayo Acheng, Yvonne Kinanga Gisebe, Zakia Mohamed Hassan, Caroline Wangoi Karanja, Kimathi Newton, Mish Bushri Wanjala, Abel Ekali Loshi, Faith Mweni Chalo, David Onyango Dero, James Aramo Wandolo, Michael Eric Kinywa Kariuki, Annette Jepto Kiptum, Brian Kuria Mbugwa, Leting Mildred Chelangat, Sumaya Mohamed Sheba, Emmanuel Ndumbi Ngasheru, Patricia Chepkemoi, Carl Anthony Owino Omolo, Purity Chepkemoi, Grace Habona Gijo, Marion Chepkemoi B, Juma Adams Juma, Joseph Hamisi Dena, Lenas Oleliai Kaikai, Faith Mwikali Kingu, Faith Anyona Anyanga, Dan Agwambo Nyatuka, Samuel Wolile Mudhama, Diana Nyokabi Gakinya, Sheila Angila Amunga, Nasra Hassan Jaso, Elsie Kemunto Morara. Number 388, Stella Katheo Masaku, Austin Kipto Kirui, Ivy Namarome Wanyonyi, Vena Aworo Dwor, Harrison Kibara Njane, Muhalia Zakaria Mulula, Evans Wamiru Wadoi, Pascal Nyange Moilu, Juliet Nyambura Mwangi, Rodney Gishana Morekwa, Theophilus Kiprob, Valenton Odhiambo Seda, Moses Mutunga Mutisia, Donald Kiprop, Kibet Ronald To, Kevin Nyanga Kiriba, Josephat Atanga Nyabate, Sahir Shiraz Taha Mohamed, Tanzila Mohamed Yakub Omar, Charity Nafula Masinde, Jacinta Ndunge Ndambuki, Evanson Gishiri, Harrison Francis Naikumi, Owira Masi, Daniel Mwaniki, Ondigi Jedida Nyaboke, Alunga Edwin Kisi, Moses Mbuvi Makosa, Samuel Caleb Ogejo, Vivian Dina Jabea, John Mark Mackenzie Kiama, Fela Wanjiru Wafula, Olivia Makena Makau, Samuel Kinuthia Masharia, Polycarp George Okumu, Nur Dahir Yusuf, Emmanuel Konde Kitsao, Morgan Mwenda, Frida Njeri Mureithi, Munene Angela Ulrika Wangari, Dragon Otieno Hosea, Victor Otieno Onyango, Felix Ayan Opanga Juma, Stasi Akinyi Okoth, Anthony Gidinji, Mark Mugo Mwangi, Betsy Kagehi Anyanzwa, Pauline Wangari Rangu, Susan Mudheu Masika, Betty Ndunge Musyoki, Lisa Makena Kimathi, Maureen Njeri Nyanjau, Imelda Biata Akoth, Rogers Tugume, Caleb Ongubo Nyakundi, Brian Kibet Kipruto, Elvira Akelo Akech, Ishmael Ibrahim Bare, Nduta Njoroge, Palki Omondi Onyango, Ivy Nahumicha Wanyonyi, Kasim Mohamed Faruk Harun, Michael Njenga Ngonge, Vanessa Murugi Mugo, Wendy Mora Mutongi, Lisa Jepchumba Barno, Lea Kanoi Sankaire, Karen Nancy Simiyu, John Omanwa Mogusu, Grace Mora Mincha, Peris Waithira Mwigai, Claudine Nyangarisa Atika, Motabori Masi Onchoka, Martin Kioko Munyoto, Feni Awor Apollo, Wendy Wanjira Masharia, Robin Mudhoni Mutiga, Milada Lucy Wagidhi Wairigia, Catherine Tabitha Njeri Mudhe, Raymond Kipkorir Rono, Branis Nekesa Okiso, May Georgia Jepto Kagogo, James Wamai Mushiri, Kanana Glory Kimathi, Joseph Barasa, Cecilia Anyango Okola, Gabriel Wangalo Amboya, Masi Jepkosgei Murray, Fadhili Manyasa Rajab, Emmanuel Nyabando Mairiba, Wendy Wenwa Ogola, Alex Asenga Gidara, Ouma Brenda Akinyi, Wycliffe Moranga Maraga, Patience Wangari Mwangi, Davis Ogembo Sabusaga, Esther Boyani Nyabuto, Sheila Ashley Nyawira Njoroge, Gloria Mudheu Mbuvi, Jeff Mudhiora Kang'ethe, Daniel Washira Mutua, Kenson Mutethia, Miracle Okoth Okumu Mudei, Dennis Odongo Olubi, Eden Mulungi Osiro, Anthony Ngugi Karanja, Mark Lawrence Otieno, Ian Emorut Ounoi, Sabina Mongina Bororio, Dusli Abere Okioi, Khalid Kea Azingo, John Kibengwa Nyabaga, Abigail Wanjiku Nganga, Susan Anyango Dhiambo, Linda Chebet Sitienei, George Mwiruri Njau, Rehema Mwaka Mwamuye, Halima Mesaidi Vyakweli, Chesire Jepkorir Masi, Alexander Mutua Musia, Lorraine Kerubo Gesicho, Rogers Abuoga Omondi, Rono Kipkirui Clinton, Michelle Wanjiku Kangede, Shannon Adhiambo Ochola, Chris Junior Oundo, Rene Aseka Tikolo, Alex Wanyeki Kingori, Anyango Whitney Kandi. Number 259, Noela Goreti Mutsami, Job Mwangi, Faith Siomiti Ndambuki, Victor Maina Kimani, Brian Kibet, Trevor Mwoki Ngile, Gloria Ndedi Ndemo, Amina Beverly Orimba, Alan Bunyasi Abuti, Rodney Moindi Amenya, Saeni Lenkai Solomon, Christabel Wangari Gitau, Florence Atieno Omondi, Chiwaya Nyamawi Julius, Sid Njoroge Shikanga, Peter Waigwa Wambugu, Amina Mami Alfred, Marion Nyaruai Irungu, Aileen Mwende Miriti, Brian Turanira Kithinji, Marian Nyamunye Manera, Patrick Kiganya Kamau, Vincent Kipngetich Koech, Wesley Okoth, Nicole Grace Wangari Gasheche, Mika Omusula Anzala, Jacqueline Shirenya Mapesa, Jen Wanjiku Karago, Florence Adhiambo Odego, Collins Ndungu Wanjau, Doreen Esther Akinyi Ogola, Gideon Kipyegon, Eddie Otieno, Lucy Njeri Njoroge, Crispin Dome Mutua, Watila Susan Mogere, Alvin Jenga Karugia, Dalmas Ouma Oyugi, Masi Chelangat Kemboi, Klein Nyongesa Skipper, Tarus Jail Chebet, Mitch Mashera Mbugwa, Valerie Nyangidi Okumu Ojambo, Shekina Joy Chepkemoy Barsito, Bramwell Kipngetich To, Chawia Jian Grace, Samson Ojwang Otieno, Mary Mudeu Musau, Jacqueline Linet Munyisia, Talai Mudeu Sitoni, Nzuki Joy Mwongeli, Kevin Mwiruri, Michael Kulundu, Caleb Mudhomi Maore, David Mamboleo, Helen Juliet Acheng Omoga, Gertrude Ricarda Wanjeri Kimani, Mbugwa Benson Mbudhia, Clinton Nyakundi Momanyi, Purity Makena Muriuki, Seth Munene, Wamburu Stasi Wamboi, Christopher Kimiti Njoroge, John Mwivithi Mutie, Seth Wafula, Masi Nyaboke, Reson Damaris Sentero, Tracy Acheng Odhiambo, Chepkirui Ann, Musasizi Joseph, Imuhira Mariam Lewinski, Patricia Wangoi Gisheru, Mohamed Amin Siyad Abdullahi, Volian Mogetu Nyaberi, Hitha Jemtai Sirma, Andrew Derek Nyaga, Webi Musa Wenani, Cecilia Wanjiru Waruiru, Karam Amin Said, Christopher Munene Mugambi, Collins Nyamoko Omogeni, Ocheng Euphilius, Evans Ocheng Dong, Stasi Jepchirchir Chumba, Stasi Wawira Mushangi, Davis Turanira, Barako Guyo Baji, Kefa Omanga Omoi, Ayan Mohamed Tubi, Olivia Jepkorir, Susan Mora Ondicho, Marvin Imbera, Maxwell Nyangole Munialo, Nixon Jackton Ocheng, Jepkemboi Maslin Kemei, Natasha Dindi Okwara, Billy Ondari Nyakawa, Dan Judge Wema, Charity Acheng Owich, Griffin Isaac Akira, Criticos Simiyu Juma, Nyamwaro Brenda Bonareri, Mary Mbaika Kikuyu, Derek Asala Alwodi, Victor Kimani Kihika, Belinda Wakasa, Griffin Okemwa Morara, Charles Luanga Ogutu, Victor Juma, Nicholas Nderitu Muriuki, Nura Adan Guyo, Okoth Teddy, Kelsey Elams Naluende, Natasha Serena Yator, Nyakiti Okoth Festus, Ali Abdikadir Banafa, Munene Michael Okile, Majid Said Twahir, Kevin Kipkoech, David Muthuikia Mwangi, Tazin Shafik Hirani, Alex Murimi Mudhomi, Bethuel Kimeli Cheruyot, Ame Mora Onderi, Stephen Gadaga Mihango, Alwia Mohamed Alawi, Frank Otieno Onyango, Lydia Maria Siengo, Anne Elizabeth Nyahungu Cheloti, Enoch Najojo Adambo. Number 129, Jude Ocheng Oundo, Peter Nganga Mwangi, Emily Mumbua Mutuku, Kimberly Stacy Adhiambo, Collins Otieno Aluga, Paul Wainaina Ngugi, Simon Gadhua Karuru, Bernard Omondi Otieno, Tracy Kerubo Namukoma, Tabitha Wangari Wangombe, Brian Nyakundi Gishana, Laura Mohabali Lugado, Cindy Mukami Mathuka, Samuel Karoki Mugo, Margaret Wanjiru Mungai, Martin Ranji Mararo, Teresa Akech Haseke, Franklin Calvin Nyongesa, Danford Fisher Momanyi, Levis Ouma Mulamba, Priestley Gitonga Ashiono, Susan Wangoi Mahupe, Yvonne Sarange Ntabo, Prince Kipto, Michelle Penina, Mila Oyugi Ondoi, Adrian Vivian Alfreds, Ivy Masahwe Hamali, Felicia Adhiambo Kasuku, Calvins Onyango Orego, Hesbon Karani Nyongesa, Nyakundi Moeche Blessed, Marwa Ahmed Abdi, Angela Mudhoni Wanjohi, Miriam Cheyech Kemoi, Alfian Winnie Omio, Hilda Wanjiku Thuo, Janice Wanjiku Muriuki, Hilary Musoma, Storm Thiaka Gashoki, Hilda Minayo Alegana, Kerry Odhiambo Awino, Faith Wamuyu, Musyoka Precious Nekesa, Cynthia Akinyi Ocheng, Michelle Nyawira Maina, Maureen Sinami Polokoi, Valerie Chemtai Kawon, Priska Apale Ouma, Cherono Masi, Pauline Wanjiku Kimani, Coletta Gati Mogesi, Michelle Mudhoni Kibui, Priska Njeri Wamboi, Esha Temleha Mohamed, Celine Igonanga Chiveli, Isaac Bernard Maina, Ndia Nadia Wega, Irene Vosevia, Evelyn Vaati Mutunga, Jocelyn Wanjiru Njenga, Naadia Kasim Mbwana, Philip Musonye, Milka Kerubo Gisore, Joseph Gishuka, Nancy Wanjiru Muturi, Anne Waruguru Kiai, Rene Odaga, Haron Were, Aaron Were, Alan Gadhira Kamau, George Simiyu Wanyonyi, David Kariuki Wambugu, Caroline Kamanthe, Victoria Wairimu Njenga, Ali Mawia Ali Abdallah, Damaris Kananu Koome, Michelle Jennifer Ochola, Paula Kemunto Omwenga, Mburu Nahashon Nginyi, Julius Kimulu Makoha, Brian Sang Kipto, Jen Nyawira Mburu, Daniel Kimani Wanjohi, Ochuna Nelima Ebi, Owino Alphonse, Kipto Martin Ngeno, Amran Abdiwalid Yero, Bob Bruno Terra, Stephen Nsongo Ketagita, Brian Jarvis Otwal, Frederick Junior Obago, Jacinta Akoth Ogola, Carl Weramondi Shikanga, Trevor Kanogu Kariuki, Charles Kipkoech Lepski, Sarah Wanjiru Mwangi, Mary Gishenyo Ntana, Vincent Okoth Okelo, Anes Nyerere, Samuel Maingi Ndishu, Esther Wamboi Gitau, Kambo Derek Kigodho, Alvin Jiraini Karicho, Dennis Kamau Maina, Claire Mosagwe, James Kamau Mureithi, Amanda Mbindio, Louise Johnson, Abigail Church Okan, Boniface Mawira Karere, Brian Lee Mureithi Maingi, Shukri Hassan Abdullahi, Mercy Chepto Korir, Michael Kinyanjui Mwigai, Felix Meshak Onyango Tinga, Ann Kadhomi Nyaga, Mashua Anderson Tipis, Valerie Gloria Adenyi, Daisy Akinyi Ndege, Joshua Caleb, Evangeline Wanjiku Karaya, Faiza Mohamed Okash, Kennedy Omondi Okech, Morogo Nancy Chepketen, Lilian Acheng Onyango, Job Nyagari Masara, Chepkirui Victoria Maritim, Wilson Karogo Ngodo, and Onyego Lynette Kemunto. My lady, those are the names for those who are present. You had confirmed that their papers are in order, and you have confirmed that they are physically present. We'll proceed to take the oath. You will take the oath before the Chief Justice. Yeah, the others to stand. Let us all be up and standing. Your Bible, your oath, and repeat this after me. I do swear by the Almighty God that I will at all times uphold the rule of law and the administration of justice, and that without fear or favor, I will well and truly discharge my duties as an advocate of the High Court of Kenya. So help me God. Okay. You can sign the oath. Sign the oath before. I hope your signature is not that long, so let's be up and standing for that order. Chief Justice.
I, Martha Karambu Koome, Chief Justice and President of the Supreme Court of Kenya, being satisfied as to your qualifications, service, and moral fitness, do hereby order that all of you whose names have been read by the Deputy Registrar be admitted as advocates of the High Court of Kenya. Dated at Nairobi this 20th day of November 2025.
We may be seated. Is that how you celebrate? Is that how you demonstrate your happiness? Are you happy? Can we hear the happiness? Can we feel it? Aye. Okay. So on a day like this, we are always favored by our seniors in the profession who give us pieces of advice as we start this journey, the journey that we have started this morning. And to start us off, I'll welcome from the Kenya School of Law, the director, Mr. Mtai, please come and advise them.
My lady. My lady, the Honorable Lady Justice Martha Koome, Chief Justice and President of the Supreme Court of Kenya, the Deputy Chief Justice, Honorable Philomena Mwilu, Deputy President of the Supreme Court, the Chief Registrar, Frida Mokaya, the Solicitor General, Honorable Shadrach Mose, the President, Law Society of Kenya, Faith Odhiambo, the Chief Executive Officer, Witness Protection Agency, Jedida Waruhio, the Chairperson of the Senior Counsel Bar, Philip Murgor, the representative of the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions, Vincent Monda, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is my honor and privilege to join you here today as you are admitted to the bar as our newest advocates in what, for all of us, is the largest such ceremony that has ever been held. And it is my honor to be the first to address you as my learned friends. How does that feel? On behalf of the Kenya School of Law Board of Directors, I congratulate all of you on this immense achievement, the culmination of many years of sweat, toil, and probably for some of you a few tears as well. On that note, let me be, as I said, the first to call you my learned friends. And as learned friends, we as a school are confident that we have imparted the necessary practical skills in you to get you started in your new lives as advocates. That being said, this is just a start, and you must continue learning, reading, sharpening your skills, and broadening your knowledge. Over and above the knowledge we have given to you, it is my sincere hope that we have also instilled some values in you, key among which is integrity, discipline, and professionalism. And I'm sure you'll hear more about those from my fellow speakers here. Without those values, your budding career is unlikely to flourish, and in the worst case, you may find yourself appearing before the disciplinary committee, which I would not wish for any of you. I'll keep my remarks brief. So in concluding my brief remarks, I would like to take this opportunity especially to congratulate one individual who I am pretty sure at one time or another has handled your file at the school. Having shepherded all of you successfully through the school, he has also been among you for the last couple of years as a student, and today, as he embarks on this career in the bar, we wish to congratulate him. That person is none other than Frederick Muhia, who was in charge of the Academic Services Office. Can you please stand, Muhia? Congratulations. And that brings me to my last point. As you embark on your careers, some of you will go into practice, others into the corporate world, others academia, others will venture into non-legal careers. We may have amongst you here future judges of the Supreme Court, maybe an attorney general or two. And the beauty of law is that it opens all these doors for you. Whether you are starting in the career, as most of you are, or whether you are changing paths after many years, or simply adding the qualification as an advocate to your other accomplishments, there is a lot available out there for you. On that note, I'd also like to recognize and acknowledge two of my fellow SAGA CEOs who are being admitted today. We have Joseph Siror of the Kenya Power and Lighting Company. We have Jeremiah Karanja, who is the CEO of the Institute of Certified Secretaries. That must have indeed been very hard, combining your studies as well as your duties. So congratulations to all of you. Let me also mention that we're having our graduation as a school next month, when we will be celebrating the best amongst you, those who topped overall as well as topped the individual units. One secret I can let out is that the top student, once again, was a lady. The name shall be revealed during the graduation. So with those few words, to all of you, good luck and Godspeed in whatever path life takes you. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Dr. Mutai, for the advice. And from the Witness Protection Agency, you have the Director, the Chief Executive, Jedida Waruhiu. Karibu.
Good morning. My lady, the Honorable Chief Justice and President of the Supreme Court of Kenya, Honorable Justice Martha Koome, the Deputy Chief Justice, Justice Philomena Mwilu, the Solicitor General of the Republic of Kenya, Honorable Shadrach Mose, who is also the Chairperson of the Witness Protection Advisory Board, the representative of the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution, the Chief Registrar of the Judiciary, Honorable Wilfred Mukaya, who is also my classmate, the President of the Law Society of Kenya, Madam Faith Odhiambo, Senior Counsel, Mr. Philip Murgo, the CEO Council of Legal Education, Professor John Mwimali, and the Director, Chief Executive of the Kenya School of Law, Dr. Henry Mutai, who also is my classmate. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I am very excited as I stand here because I see myself in you. I stood there, I took the oath over 20, 30 years ago, and I'm delighted to be part of this auspicious occasion of the 920 of you who are now advocates of the High Court of Kenya. Indeed, this is a milestone in the justice sector because it will enforce the administration and enhance the administration of justice as we work together as learned friends. Indeed, this is very timely because a number of you will begin providing legal services within and outside the Republic of Kenya to clients who are in need of your legal service, and also expand the pool of pro bono advocates that the Law Society and other institutions are looking for, including the National Legal Aid Service. I reckon that your role as advocates and the role that you play in the Kenyan society is very pivotal, and it does have an impact and shape virtually all social, economic, cultural, and political arrangements and relationships in this country. Apart from performing your traditional functions of promoting and protecting the individual rights and freedoms of your clients through litigation, there are also other major ways that you're also able to facilitate the same in terms of access to justice and learning through the academia in both the public and the private sectors. Abraham Lincoln said this to us as lawyers and advocates, that the leading role for the lawyer, as for the man of every other calling, is diligence. Leave nothing for tomorrow which can be done today. And indeed, today we are here to witness your admission, and as you take up this opportunity to build a stronger and responsive nation that respects and promotes the rule of law and constitutionalism as hard as you've taken in your oath. The quality of legal services that you provide will be profound in terms of ensuring that we develop the legal profession and also develop the kind of society that we live in. As you carry on with your sacred legal duties, ensure that you uphold and foster the rule of law and the cause of justice. Ensure that you maintain integrity within the very, very high standards of professionalism, including digitally, which is our emerging space in the legal fraternity, as you advise, as you review and draft laws, as you prosecute, as you adjudicate, and as you represent your clients with decorum and creativity. At the Witness Protection Agency, we are alive to your significant role and contribution to society. And as we reflect on the words of an author who is not known, he said that the law is not just a set of rules, it is the framework of a just society. And as advocates, as you defend and promote justice, let's work towards ensuring that we work towards a just society, and in it, you become the champions of witness protection during the trial process, as you promote the rights and accountability of your clients, and especially where you are engaged with witnesses who are at risk, who are intimidated, or who are threatened. Your role is very critical in terms of referring them to the agency, either directly or through other institutions, including during those of you who will be the defense counsels. Remember, it is important that we safeguard the rights of the witnesses who have a life beyond the court process, and they are usually threatened because of the information that they hold, and more so because of their cooperation with the prosecution and other law enforcement agencies. Therefore, as an agency, we believe and we promote interagency collaboration, and that is why we are here today, to ensure that all institutions and all actors in the justice system are communicating, are complementing each other, are coordinating as far as vulnerable witnesses are concerned, and you play a pivotal role in that respect. It is our commitment that we will continue to urge and nudge the Kenya School of Law, the Council for Legal Education, so that we are able to integrate the witness protection learning in terms of the theory and the practice and the emerging jurisprudence of the same, so that as you emerge as advocates of the High Court of Kenya, you do understand and appreciate how to litigate and how to engage, and more importantly, how to protect and preserve the dignity and the identity of the protected witnesses, including having moot courts that speak to these issues. As an agency, we remain committed, and we will work with you to ensure that those who are at risk because of the information that they have are protected either before, during, and after trial. We are available to work with you, even to support those of you, especially in the criminal matters, who will be defending those we call justice collaborators, to be able to turn some of them into state witnesses so that they can assist the cause of justice when it comes to especially issues of organized crime. I urge you, therefore, to familiarize yourself with the Witness Protection Act, that is Chapter 79 of the Laws of Kenya, to read the Witness Protection Regulations of 2011 that were gazetted by the Honorable Attorney General, to also read the Witness Protection Rules that were gazetted by the Honorable Chief Justice in 2015, that will give you an impetus in terms of the law, the issues, and the practice, especially in court, in tribunals, in inquiries, or in commissions. We are available at director@wpa.go.ke. Please write to us, refer to us any cases that are of concern. And in our discussions with the Law Society, we are praying and hoping that we'll have a CPD dedicated to witness protection next year, 2026. So I believe the 920 of you will submit to that and become the first CPD students for that. Allow me to end and again celebrate you. You all look fabulous. You all have a great future. Please, even if you do not believe it, I believe it and I see it. You are all perfect in your individual self, and each one of you will rise beyond your wildest expectations. We all started there, and here we are, and the sky is not even the limit. Please believe in yourself. Do not compare yourself with anyone, because you are great and wonderfully made. Allow me to also, with my colleague, recognize the CEOs too, who are with us here from public service, who have gone into the legal profession. I celebrate you, both CEOs from ICS and KPLC, and also celebrate my associate daughter who is here, Marion Irongo. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you so much, Madam Jedida Waruhi from the Witness Protection. And now from the Senior Counsel Bar, let me welcome Senior Counsel Philip Murgor to address you. Karibu.
Good morning, everybody. Your Ladyship, Honorable Martha Koome, Chief Justice and President of the Supreme Court of Kenya, and President of the Your Ladyship, Honorable Philomena Mwilu, Deputy Chief Justice and Deputy President of the Supreme Court of Kenya, Faith Odhiambo, President of the Law Society of Kenya, Honorable Judges of the Court of Appeal present, Honorable Judges of the High Court present, the Chief Registrar of the Judiciary, Mr. Shadrach Mose, the Solicitor General, Mr. Monda, my colleague from years gone by, representing the DPP, Mr. Mutai, Principal School of Law, Mr. Jedida Warui, representing the Witness Protection, the representative of the Council of Legal Education, senior counsels present. I see my good friend Kevin McCourt, members of the bar, proud families, and most importantly, the newly admitted advocates. Once again, I say good morning. Some history. My name is Philip Murgor. I am currently the chair of the Senior Counsel Bar, and I'll tell you something about that. But as I sat here listening to 920 names, I was struck by the fact that, and I was told by the principal of the School of Law, that many of you will be around 22, 23 years old when you were born. I was a notorious director of public prosecutions 22 years ago, and none of you were named after me. I've heard all sorts of names, all sorts of famous people whose names have been adopted, and there's a region where famous people are recognized. But I still have time, so I'll address this with another group. Now, I was admitted in 1986, 35 years ago. Very few of us, before the then Chief Justice, with the next Chief for you. Indeed, today is a moment of profound pride and solemnity. You stand here not merely as graduates, but officers of the court, entrusted with the sacred duty to uphold the Constitution, defend rights, and advocate zealously for justice. Allow me to begin by, again, extending my heartfelt congratulations on your admission to the bar, both on my behalf and on behalf of the Senior Counsel Bar. The Senior Counsel Bar is not a separate bar from the Law Society, the one you have joined. So I'm not here in competition with the Law Society to address you. I'm telling you that we are simply, as stated, the seniors in the same profession, in the same bar, and who simply and are privileged to have been recognized for our mastery of jurisprudence, our impeccable integrity and ethical rectitude, leadership within the profession or past leadership within the profession, and in the administration of justice. And also, and I say this for those of you who will join public service, for the service that we rendered when we were in public service. So, important. It is not a route or a place you will get to only by being in private practice, but in every aspect in the profession of law. The distinction is earned over years of hard work. And once conferred with a rank, we remain and we are expected to be custodians of professional standards, be your mentors, be sentinels of the rule of law, and I emphasize this, to support the Law Society of Kenya to ensure adherence to the rule of law and justice for all. As I emphasized, are not competitors. The honor of the legal profession, the word honor I use with an underline, and I quote Lord Denning in one of his famous sayings, "A lawyer's first duty is to serve justice, and the measure of his success is the integrity of his conduct." So I say this because many young people today think or get the impression the measure of success is how much money you accumulate, your worldly possessions, the car you drive. But I say what makes you, or one day will get you recognized as a senior counsel, not only by title, but one who is worthy of respect, will be the integrity of your conduct. It will also be measured by your character, the courage to speak truth when silence is safer, the discipline to uphold the rule under pressure, the integrity to resist wrongdoing even when unobserved. The honor is yours to bear and protect. I move to another topical issue. In your oaths, I noted you all echo the words, well and truly represent your clients, well and truly conduct yourselves. And I want to emphasize that winning your cases is not the beginning and the end. Winning at all costs will get you into a lot of trouble. So much so that today, in our profession, in the administration of justice, corruption abounds. And I speak not only within the profession, I also have no reservation in saying within the ranks of the judiciary, within the ranks of all other actors in the administration of justice, may also be there. It's topical, it's talked about. And with social media, it's discussed. So much so that it's now almost a given that it is institutionalized. And of course, we have now the new coinage of the word juris pesa. Address the judiciary. I'm here to address you as my constituency. How do you solve this problem? With the numbers in the profession of ourselves to market ourselves, we are competing for clients. So much so that from door to door, asking you what you offer. And we all went to the same law school. So we will all say we offer well-argued law, we offer diligence, we offer hard work. But there will be a temptation to say, I know the judge, I know the magistrate, I know the prosecutor. It is at this point that I address you. You haven't done that. You haven't been there. And I ask that you ensure that you pledge, you swear, you take your own, that you will not go in that direction. The Kenyan people demand transparency and fairness. Let your conduct signal that justice is adjudicated according to law, evidence, and principle, and not influence and payment. Pro bono and civil work, civic work. From the Senior Counsel Bar perspective, we did our share, we still do our share of pro bono and civic work. To the extent that many times you will be called upon in your village, in your estate, on the streets to speak to a citizen. Somebody will stop you. Somebody will say, I have a problem. Please never shy away from that. Not only a vocation, it is a public duty, it is a calling. We witnessed very recently during the recent Gen Z demonstrations, I think I see a few familiar faces in this group. By then you might have just been demonstrators, and you might even have had a brush with the law. Whatever the case, hundreds of young demonstrators were detained, and there was a moment of silence. What do you do? What is the calling of a lawyer in such circumstances? The Law Society, through the current president, led the way in providing pro bono legal services. They policed, they manned all police stations, they answered calls throughout the night. They attended to the calls of distress, filed writs of habeas corpus so that missing persons could be brought to court. You are now joining our ranks. Before you get too busy, and I assure you, you won't be busy for a long time. You won't be busy. You can't be busy. There is not enough legal work. Open your hearts to pro bono work. Not only will you train yourselves, but you will also serve society. Let integrity as your anchor. Let integrity be your anchor. Your words, your pleadings, your reputation must be beyond reproach. Courage you must have in adversity. Stand firm despite pressure. Trust and respect following principled advocacy. Seek mentorship and wisdom. In this day and age of artificial intelligence, this day and age of the digital world where information appears to be at your fingertips, you can get a legal opinion in a flash under artificial intelligence. But you will find in the real world, it doesn't always work like that. So we in the Senior Counsel Bar invite you to approach us at any time. We also, on behalf of older advocates, seek mentorship, seek advice. You will find it serves you well. Very often it will simply be on how you approach issues, how you approach the court, how you approach colleagues. It is not a question of simply being, I am an advocate and I am the same, I did the same degree as everybody else and I can shout my head off. You will find with your slightly high-pitched voice, you will be taken less seriously than Mr. Kevin McCourt, Senior Counsel, with his baritone. So you will be told and mentored as to how to approach legal challenges. Finally, Kenya this country of ours is at an interesting point, an inflection point, a turning point. And the decisions you make as young people will determine the direction we go. So I ask that you play your role, not just as lawyers, but as citizens. The choice is yours. With that, I once again congratulate you, welcome you to an honorable profession. Serve with courage, integrity, and purpose. Thank you, and God bless you as you go out and serve. Thank you. Before I step down, I do want to recognize Madeline Joki Thiongo, number 888, who served in very difficult circumstances in my chambers as a pupil and worked for little or no pay, long, hard hours. But I think she will turn out well trained. And I also want to recognize a good old friend of mine, not as young as Madeline, Linus Kaikai. Can I see him? With whom we've had many, many brushes, many, many collaborations as a senior member of the media. Karibu to the profession. Thank you. Thank you.
You've started clapping when I was coming here. Are you clapping for the speaker or for me? You clap for all the speakers for the advice. It does not come for free. Okay? Now, from the Council of Legal Education, let me welcome the Chief Executive Officer, Professor Mwimali, to advise you.
My Lady Chief Justice, my Lady Deputy Chief Justice, with your permission, allow me to adopt the protocols that have been laid out because of time. My lady, when I came here, I had thought of sitting down to write lofty words to extol the achievements of these seated before us for their great achievements. But before I could venture into it, I had a very vexing 2 weeks, my lady, because there has been this discussion in the public fora concerning the 900 students to be admitted or petitioners to be admitted to undertake the bar exam. And of course, the concern was that CLE must do something because these numbers are not tolerable. In a sense, that was the word that they were putting across. And from where I sat, of course, I had to have a bit of self-reflection. And I went back to the law that establishes and confers mandate on us. And what it provides is that we need to ensure quality of legal education. So in a sense, we are gatekeepers, yes. And in a sense, the debate that we have been having is a very good debate. We need to determine whether the entire of the 920 of you have indeed the wherewithal to serve in the profession that you have entered into. And those were some of the things I thought. And I ended up saying, I'll not write any speech, but rather I'll come and have a conversation from the heart with you. You know, it's very difficult to be judged at the forefront of your achievement. You have not yet practiced law. And therefore, at least where I sit, I can be able to judge and say, I examined these applicants. I tested them and I found, as per the standards that we have set for quality legal education, that they indeed qualified for admission to be advocates. And for that, I heartily congratulate you. Please accept the congratulation of the Council of Legal Education, because we are the ones who took you through that harsh process. Again, before the vexation of the last 2 weeks, I had other vexation because people thought that we were too hard to you. And therefore, we wanted to prevent you from entering into the profession. So we sit at a very tight spot. On the one hand, there are those who say that we are too lenient and therefore we are allowing very many advocates to be admitted. And on the other hand, there are those who feel that we are too hard, we are long-faced, we are unsympathetic, we do not understand. But after taking you through that process, you have qualified and you have been found to be fit for admission, and that is why we are seated here today, and that's why we congratulate you. And that brings me to the final point. Now that you have been tested by ourselves, now that we have confidence, we are the ones that are going to be examined. And our examination will be on the basis on how you perform in the profession. I hope that you will not let those naysayers have the last word. Because if you do not perform well in the profession, then they'll say, you see, that's what we told you. But I have all the faith, having examined you, that you actually are qualified and you are actually suited to serve the public. And in a sense, you are officers of the court and therefore public servants. I know we have had this discourse again in recent time where it has been alleged that a quack has appeared before the court and has won all their cases. And of course, that is very exhilarating in a sense. But again, the question that we ask ourselves, must we win all those cases? Because when a client comes to you, you are now an officer of the court giving them advice. In many cases, you will find that you have another advocate on the other side. Sometimes it doesn't depend on your skill. It depends on the strength of the case that you are presenting. But it also depends on the oaths that you have taken today, and I hope that that oath will guide your practice in the profession. And therefore, when I am being examined for having admitted the 920, I'll be found to have done what is right. With those remarks, let me congratulate you and especially reiterate what Dr. Mutai and Council Member Jedida have mentioned of our two colleagues, the CEO, KPLC, and ICS. And all of you who have achieved this milestone today, thank you and welcome to the profession. Congratulations.
Thank you, Professor Mwimali, for the guidance and the advice. Before I welcome the President of the Law Society of Kenya, I have an announcement to make. We are passing the role of advocates real time. So when you get the role, we would wish you to sign. It has several columns. The first column is your P105 number. That is the first column. But I'll draw your attention to the last two columns. The second last column is titled signature. We would want you to sign, to append your signature on the roll. That column has 2 dotted lines. You sign the upper one. Don't sign the lower one. The lower one is reserved for the deputy registrar. So the upper one, where it's written before me, append your signature on the upper one. Before you sign, confirm that your name is correct, that it is your name and it is correct in the second column. And your ID or passport number is correct. Don't sign against your colleague's name. Sign against your name. So confirm the name and the ID number in the second column, and then append your signature on the upper dotted line in the second last column. There are those who put remarks in the last column in the previous group. Please don't do so. The last column is remarks. That is reserved for official use. When you are struck off the roll or something happens, then those remarks are entered there. So those ones who put remarks, I don't know which remarks were they, but unless you want to be struck off the roll, don't fill in the last column, which is for remarks. So just fill in the second last column by appending your signature. So at this time, I want to welcome the president, your president, the president of the Law Society of Kenya, Faith Odhiambo. I know there's the vice president, Mr. Kabata, is present, and I know there's also the president of the East Africa Law Society. Maybe she will welcome them, but at this time, let me welcome the president of the Law Society. Karibu.
Good morning, everyone. The Honorable Chief Justice and President of the Supreme Court, the Honorable Justice Martha Koome, the Honorable Lady Justice Philomena Mbete Mwilu, Deputy Chief Justice and Vice President of the Supreme Court of Kenya. Through your permission, Chief Justice, allow me to call the President of the East Africa Law Society, followed by the Vice President, to give their short remarks to this new cohort.
Your Ladyship, the Chief Justice, allow me to hop on the protocol as laid out by the previous speakers. Esteemed members of the judiciary, senior counsel, colleagues, family and friends, allow me to teach you a greeting that I use across East Africa. When I say, may peace be with you, you respond by saying, and also with you. May peace be with you. May peace be with you. I'm sure you can be louder than that, but perhaps we leave that for another day. My name is Ramadan Abubakar. I'm the president of East Africa Law Society, and I have the tremendous honor of addressing you this morning. Today, we gather not only to witness an enrollment, but to celebrate a transformation. Each of you, our new colleagues, steps into this profession with a solemn promise that from this day forward, the law will not be something you study, but something you carry, something you serve, and something you practice. To be admitted as an advocate of the High Court of Kenya is an extraordinary achievement, but it is also a profound responsibility. From today, your words carry weight, your actions shape institutions, and your choices affect lives. The law in your hands is not just a career, it is a trust. I welcome you warmly, not only to the Law Society of Kenya, but also into a larger community. As president of the East Africa Law Society, I want you to know that your enrollment today opens the doors of a regional family. Over 45,000 lawyers across Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda, Rwanda, Burundi, South Sudan, Ethiopia, and the DRC. This society was founded in 1995 with a group of lawyers, and one of them being our Chief Justice. In 1995, a group of lawyers had a vision. They planted a seed, the tree has grown, and now, under the shade, is 45,000 lawyers. Please, let's honor the CJ for this. They had a bold vision to make lawyers more than courtroom advocates, to make us nation builders, defenders of human dignity, and champions of regional integration. We equip our members to meet the challenges of governance, business, trade, and technology. We stand for the rule of law before regional courts. We support EAC institutions in building frameworks that make justice and integration real. For you, this means possibility. Your practice did not be confined by borders. The doors opened today can take you from Nairobi to Kampala, Arusha to Kigali, Bujumbura to Addis Ababa, and also to Juba. In our interconnected world, the lawyer who sees only their own corner risks irrelevance. The lawyer who sees the region, the continent, and the globe shapes the future. But with this possibility comes duty. The future of our profession will be shaped by rapid change, artificial intelligence, digital economies, cross-border transactions, and many more. Yet through it all, one thing will never change: the centrality of integrity. Integrity is the anchor that will keep you steady when the currents shift. So I say to you, measure your success not by the cases you win or the fees you earn, but by the justice you deliver, the institutions you strengthen, and the lives you touch. That is how you will know that your enrollment today was not just a personal milestone, but the beginning of a public mission. Colleagues, because you're now our colleagues, I congratulate you, I welcome you, and I charge you to dream beyond today, beyond borders, beyond self. The law is in your hands now. Carry it with courage, with compassion, and with vision. And may this day be remembered not as the closing of your student years, but as the opening of your service to justice. As I end, allow me to also recognize an outstanding advocate who's just been admitted, Lynette Kemunto. I don't know if she's present. I'm sure she's present. Perfect. Your Ladyship, she's been admitted in Uganda and now in Kenya. That's what we're talking about. Congratulations, Lynette. Thank you very much, and I thank you.
Your Ladyship, the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of Kenya and the President of the Supreme Court of Kenya, Your Ladyship, the Deputy Chief Justice and the Deputy President of the Supreme Court of Kenya, allow me to ride on the protocols that have been established for purposes of time. My name is Maura Kabata. I serve you currently as the Vice President of the Law Society of Kenya. Allow me to share a nugget of wisdom that I learned from a senior member of the Law Society. His name is Captain Collins Wanderi. To you all, remember that success in the legal profession is your own race. You're not competing with anybody. Chart your own course and reject the temptation to be ostentatious and boisterous. Be humble and courteous always. Do not fight or begrudge professional colleagues over cases and clients. Clients come and go, but friendships are truly enduring. Money is not everything. Of course, for those who say money is not everything, you must have it. Happiness is not about the display of opulence and material things. Do not take unnecessary loans to buy expensive cars or clothes for show off. Do not steal from the poor and particularly victims of road accidents. Most importantly, do not rob the dead by depriving widows and orphans of their inheritance. A good name and a peaceful sleep at night is much more than cash in a bank account. And finally, please give back to the society that yielded you. Help a needy child, educate an orphan, and assist widows. And you will get real fulfillment for doing your portion of divinity from the Lord and from your communities. Allow me to also say that the Chief Justice is currently undertaking the second mentorship series, the CJ's mentorship series for young lawyers in partnership with the Senior Counsel Bar. I encourage you to follow that series because it gives you the opportunity to engage at a different scale with different members of the Law Society of Kenya, especially our seniors. And as I say, our seniors, the chair of the Senior Counsel Bar has emphasized that he was admitted in 1986. Although he got the date wrong, the number of years wrong, we were just whispering with my colleague, Mr. Ramadan Abubakar. I was born in 1986. And so you can see that the road to a true purpose in the law society does not matter with your years of practice, even with your years in age. Allow me, CJ, to recognize a few individuals, of course, in particular, to take note of the colleague whose name is Dragon. I surely will not forget you. Lea Njeri Wanjohi, if she's here. My very good friend Ernest Nyerere, if he's here. And of course, your ladyship, Mr. Ramadan Abubakar, was whispering to me that he has appeared before court with our colleague, Mr. Brian Jarvis Otwal, severally, and why is he being admitted today? until I whispered to him that he is a spitting image of his twin brother, who is a member of the Law Society of Kenya, Mr. Desmond Otwal. So there is no problem. You are properly on record, Counsel. I thank you so much, and please welcome to the bar, karibuni kwa Law Society of Kenya, and congratulations to you all. You look extremely ravishing and beautiful. Have a good day.
Good morning again, everyone. How does it feel? How does it feel? I must say, I was quite impressed. I've seen pre-shots, drama, TikTok videos, reels. I think you've really prepared for the day. In our time, used to take the oath individually. So I think for me at that time, getting a new suit and new shoes was the best thing. But I can see there is more to it when you're preparing for admission. We are learning. Your Ladyship, the Chief Justice, the Deputy Chief Justice, members of the bench, represented the Solicitor General, representative of the Director of Public Prosecutions, represent the CEO of Witness Protection Agency, the Director of Kenya School of Law, Council of Legal Education representative, the Chair of the Senior Counsel Bar, advocates, families, and friends of the newly admitted advocates, distinguished guests, and above all, our newly admitted advocates. Good morning. I must say I join all the rest as they say you do look amazing. All the men looked up, the ladies look amazing as well. Today we gather not just to admit a new class of lawyers to the bar, but to witness a generational shift in the story of our profession. This is not an ordinary cohort. First, you're been able to smash the record of being the largest being admitted, 920. But also you're a special cohort because of the special circumstances that you lived through when you were in Kenya School of Law. Your Ladyship, allow me to reintroduce to you these exceptional young men and women before you, the disruptors of status quo, award winners, trailblazers, movement of shapers, and leaders par excellence. You, our new advocates, are a class forged in fire, sharpened by the streets, emboldened by conviction, and guided by a belief that justice is not a privilege, but a right. As the chair of the Senior Counsel Bar said, he did recognize some of you during last year's demonstrations. And Madam Chief Justice, I want to recognize, even as I proceed with my speech, a few members. First of all, I start with my two pupils today, Ernest Nyerere and Adrian Alfreds. The two of you stand up. These have been my pupils who have suffered through managing the stress of the law firm, but also managing working with me. I congratulate you. Sit down. I also recognize Leanjeri Wanjohi, who is pupil of the Vice President, Lea. Then sister of the President of the Small Claims Court, Madam Chief Justice, you know him, Ochibaba. Fanny Apollo, please stand up. There she is. I want to recognize, I have many students here in the room while I was still teaching LBA, but one of them is the CEO of CPS, Mr. Jeremiah Karanja. Jeremiah, there at the back. Now, I want to recognize Linus Kaikai, who was also under my LBA class. But I recognize you also in a special way. Today, we have a lot of challenges that we face. And part of them is the attack on the media. As you join the profession, you'll be called upon to live beyond the oath that you've taken as a journalist. But now you have to live by the oath of being an advocate. And you shall be called upon severally. Congratulations. Madam Chief Justice, I want Nyerere to stand up, and Dad is also here. Please stand up. I say today we face heroes and those who have stood the test of time. Nyerere was a student at Kenya School of Law then, but he's a survivor of those who were abducted during last year Gen Z demonstrations. A test of time of resilience, and the classmates who came out in large numbers to stand and ask for their release, and also go to the streets to protect their fellow colleagues. Dad was scheduled for a surgery at that particular time. And I remember asking myself, if he doesn't come home, what will I tell the dad? But today we thank God because of standing the resilience and the test of time. The cohort that we see today are a reminder of the importance of the legal profession. Please have a seat. When we look at you, we do not see just wigs and robes. We see young Kenyans who refuse to be silent in the face of injustice. Some of you have been at the front lines fighting for this country last year. Others were arrested, abducted for daring to speak truth to power. Yet here you stand, not broken, but bolder, not bitter, but brilliant. You embody what Chinua Achebe wrote in A Man of the People. The trouble with our country is not lack of heroes, but what we fail to recognize them when we see them. So today we recognize you, we see you. You are the heroes and heroines of your generation. This is not just about acquiring a new title. It's an affirmation of the dreams brewed through sweat and tears over the years. It is a nod from the universe that the early mornings, long days, late nights have finally paid off. Congratulations for this new milestone. Clap for yourself. Your admission to the bar is not just a personal victory. It's a continuation of the struggle for justice and accountability that defines the Kenyan spirit. You remind us that the law is not just meant to protect, comfort, it's meant to disturb injustice. You're entering to this profession at a time when our nation is once again negotiating the meaning of freedom. The events of the past year showed us that law, when separated from conscience, can be used to justify repression. But you have shown that conscience anchored in law can transform a nation. Ngugi wa Thiong'o once said that the bullet was the means of physical subjugation. Language was the means of spiritual subjugation. But I dare say the law, when misused, becomes both. But when wielded by principled advocates, as we all know you will be, it becomes a language for liberation. Let's be honest. The legal profession has often been accused of elitism, of being too detached from the struggles of the country. You, however, have changed that narrative. You have bridged the courtroom and the street, the affidavit and the hashtags, the Constitution and the cry of the people. You have become and made the law relatable once again, and I dare say even cool. But allow me to offer a gentle caution. Passion without discipline burns out quickly. The fire that drives you to demand justice must also drive you to read the fine print, meet deadlines, and uphold ethics. The same courage that got you to protest must also get you to prepare and prepare well. Remember the words of Chinua Achebe. A man who pays respect to the great paves the way for his own greatness. Respect the law. Respect the process. Respect your clients. And in doing so, you pave your way to greatness. Your generation is redefining what it means to be a lawyer in Kenya. You are lawyers who protest and poets who draft affidavits. You are advocates with conscience and reformers with flair. You understand that the courtroom is not the only site of justice. Sometimes it's the street, the social media, or the community barazas. And yet, do not let your activism be the end of your advocacy. Let it be the beginning, because the real work starts now. Your journey of becoming has just begun. The law needs you not just as critics of injustice, but creators of solutions. As Wallace Soyinka says, the man dies in all who keep silent in the face of tyranny. And I dare say you've seen in recent times what has happened to him because of raising his voice. He was not able to board a plane because his visa was revoked. So do not lose your voice, but refine it. Use it to argue persuasively, not just passionately. Use it to build bridges between power and the people and empower the voiceless, not walls of hostility. In you, I see a generation that refuses to inherit silence, and that gives us hope that the next decade of Kenyan bar will be driven not just by intellect and ambition, but integrity and empathy. As you step into your new role, remember justice is not a slogan, it is a practice. It is the way you treat your clients, the way you bill your hours, the way you hold colleagues accountable, and the way you show up even when no one is watching. In this profession, we show up for one another. We stand with one another. You become the family of the Law Society of Kenya. Nelson Mandela once said, after climbing a great hill, one only finds that there are many more hills to climb. Today you have climbed a great hill. You have survived law school, the Council of Legal Education, the Advocates Training Program, and the bar exam. This is no small feat, but ahead of you are many more hills of corruption to challenge, systems to reform, and justice to defend. So climb and keep climbing. When you reach the top, extend a hand to those who are still rising behind you. You owe it to them because others have stood and helped you. I also give greetings from the chair of the caucus of branches, as well as the chair of Nairobi branch, Mr. Eric Kivuva. We have 8 branches at the Law Society of Kenya. And so make sure that you find out which branch you want to be a member of. Get involved and join the family wholesomely. You'll find very many other facets: Arudola, small claims, tech and AI, anti-money laundering, commercial, ADR, this week being the ADR week. There is so many opportunities. The question is, how much do you want to give back and how much harder do you want to work? You are invited to adopt pro bono. The Chief Justice has been singing the mantra of supporting children in conflict of the law. We are dealing with a crisis in the nation of gender-based violence and sexual gender-based violence. If you just saw the social media, what has been happening this week, I urge you to join the pro bono lawyers, particularly those dealing with children matters, gender-based violence, and sexual gender-based violence. Law Society will be having special training programs, particularly to train advocates on how to deal with those particular cases. So please find your niche. Taking pro bono is an opportunity for you to learn. It's an opportunity for you to grow. And sometimes it's an opportunity for someone to recognize talent and move you to the next level. I want to give you a small story. This year, the International Bar Association recognized the former Supreme Court Judge Rosalie Silbam as having been an outstanding lawyer, giving her the Benjamin Beryl Ferrez Rule of Law Lifetime Award for having shown her courage and tenacity over 5 decades. Now, this lady, the reason that I share her story is because she was born at the refugee camp of Stuttgart in Germany. A refugee, a Jewish who rose up to become the first Jewish who became a Supreme Court judge, an immigrant and a refugee. Now, sometimes the challenge is how, depending on how you look at it, can be able to bring out the best in us or the worst in us. It determines or depends whether you become bitter with the situations in which you are born into or the challenges you faced, or whether you decide to change those ashes for beauty. So she rose from those ashes to become the first Supreme Court judge who is a Jewish and a refugee. Today, the discussion is about the 920 joining the legal profession. I dare say it will not be rosy, but it depends on you on how you take those situations and the opportunities that you see, particularly in the new areas of law. Do not get depressed. Do not leave the profession. Reach out, see how you can join in different opportunities, and you will find your pathway. The legal profession, we're only over 26,000. Probably with this cohort, we'll get over 27,000. At a backdrop of a nation that is over 50 million. There's opportunity for you, but it depends on how you view it and what are the steps and your attitude towards it. The Law Society of Kenya welcomes you with open arms. We are not just proud of you, we are inspired by you. You remind us of why we joined this profession in the first place: to serve, to defend, and to restore faith in justice. And so, as I congratulate you, I want to remind you of Barack Obama's words. Our destiny is not made for us. It is written by us. And I dare say that live by your own boundaries. Make mistakes, because we all do. But live and learn from those mistakes and be able to live the tale of your next milestone. Congratulations. Go forth and make the law both feared and loved again. I thank you, and I end with the words of the East Africa Law Society President. May peace be with you.
Thank you. That is from the Law Society of Kenya, Madam Faith Odhiambo. Today, the last person to sign the roll will be number 27,206. That is the P105. Okay. Let me welcome Mr. V.S. Monda, the Deputy Director of Public Prosecution, representing the Director of Public Prosecutions, to address you.
The Honorable Chief Justice and President of the Supreme Court, the Honorable Deputy Chief Justice and Vice President of the Supreme Court, the Chief Registrar of the Judiciary, please allow me to adopt the previous protocol set out. I'm appearing on behalf of the Director of Public Prosecutions, Mr. Renson Ingonga, who is currently out on official duties. Colleagues, Learned friends, good morning. A lot has been said, but I will share my thoughts as a practitioner. For those of you joining the profession today, please take the opportunity to be prosecutors. The President of the Law Society of Kenya and the Chief Registrar of the Judiciary are members of the advisory board of the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions. So please engage them because those are your potential employers. The other aspect I would like to share with you are three things that the DPP has asked me to talk about. One is integrity, two, professionalism, and three, innovation. My own personal story about integrity has told me that your network is your net worth. I'll repeat. My personal story of integrity has taught me that your network is your net worth. I'm here to celebrate that network, and I will inform you shortly who belongs to that network. The first is none other than the Honorable Chief Justice of the Republic of Kenya. I used to appear before her in the Court of Appeal, in Nyeri, and subsequently in Malindi. In both occasions, those courts were the best performing Court of Appeal courts in the country. So you can see where my network begins. My second person and former Director of Public Prosecutions, Mr. Philip Murgor, like he said, I met him when I was a very young prosecutor. Through his mentorship, today is the chairperson of the senior bar. You can see where your network can take you. So what do you think when I make the next application to be a senior counsel? He's already there, not so. The other network I would like to inform you are you colleagues in the profession. As a prosecutor, I hate most when I make a decision to prosecute a fellow learned counsel in the profession. It is one of the most difficult decisions. Why? Because this is a colleague in the profession, but you're making a decision that will affect his future. I am proud that you are 920. And like Prof said, please do not find yourself on the other side. I'll repeat, please do not find yourself on the other side. Because I will report to Prof that remember the 920 learned friends we attended during their admission to the bar? Look at what has happened. Some of them are now appearing before us as accused persons. You have been told, please take this profession seriously. Be innovative, yes, but your innovation should not drive you to be involved in criminal activities. Today, some of our members are involved in money laundering. Some of our members are involved in cryptocurrency and using it for criminal activities. You then make it difficult for the DPP to make a decision, and more importantly, at times we have instances where the president and vice president have come to see the DPP to ask, please allow us to resolve this matter before it gets to court. I have been in those meetings, and I must say it is very disheartening. And mostly it has to do with clients' money. Please, as colleagues in the profession, earn your sweat. Do not be in a hurry. You have been told take your time. And also remember, when the president and vice president are coming to see the DPP to intercede on your behalf, in most times you are not present. So you do the crime, but they are the ones who are running around trying to intercede on your behalf. They would be in the offices seated, taking briefs, or attending to more urgent issues. So my plea to you is that do not be the advocate who will make other advocates plead your case on your behalf because you did the wrong thing. As I wind up, my plea to you, learned friends, is let us be courteous to one another in court, and more so to the judiciary. I have seen instances where counsels have been arrogant, counsel have been disparaging, counsel even openly discuss ongoing cases. Where you lose a case, that's not the end. All you say, like I used to be told by my senior members of the bar, just say most obliged, okay, and ask for certified copies of the proceedings and move on. Do you have to go to your TikTok face and say that this judge, I don't like the way he's reasoning? Or is this the way a judicial officer should be reasoning? Please, let's avoid that. We are still young in the profession. If you are dissatisfied with a decision, you know what to do, okay? So my plea to you is that let us bring back honor to the courtroom. And where you're dissatisfied, please feel free to move to the next level. As I conclude, I would like to thank you as you come into the profession. I know most of you will join me as prosecutors. Please, you're welcome, okay? There is still sufficient space. I believe that the president of the Law Society of Kenya is here, and the chief registrar of the judiciary. I'm sure they will push the DPP to get more budgetary allocation so that some of you can be employed as prosecutors. Allow me now to also recognize a member who was a part of my network, the Honorable Justice Zoki Omakau. Short story is that we once did a corruption case and you were very successful. That's why he's now a judge. So you can see where I'm headed to. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Monda, for the advice. I want to welcome the Solicitor General, Mr. Shadrach Mose, to give his remarks on behalf of the Attorney General. Karibu.
Thank you so much. The Honorable Justice Martha Koome, the Chief Justice and the President of the Supreme Court, the Honorable Deputy Chief Justice, Honorable Philomena Mwiru, Deputy Chief Justice and Vice President of the Supreme Court, the Chief Registrar of the Judiciary, Honorable Winfrida Mokaya, the President of the Law Society of Kenya, Faith Odhiambo, and in equal measure, President of the East African Law Society of Kenya and the Deputy, the Vice President of the Law Society of Kenya, the Director of Public Prosecutions, represented by my good friend, Vincent Monda, the Chairperson of the Senior Counsel PA, and you should give him a hearty clap, Phil Murgo. The judges of the Court of Appeal, the High Court. Also allow me to recognize my colleagues, my classmates who are here. PJ Otieno, you give him a clap. I'm also, you also asked where you go, whether there's somebody who will say you were in that class. Then, of course, Beatrice Ombati, not Ombati, Beatrice Karogo. Those are my classmates. The parents who are here. Allow me not to forget also my colleagues one time somewhere. Honorable Sarah Korer is a member of parliament for a long time. Give her at a club also. And I saw my good friend, Raphael Wanchara. Where are you? He's at the back. Give him also at a club. First and foremost, before I make my remarks, I just want to appreciate the Honorable, the Chief Justice, allowing an admission of 920 of you is no mean achievement. Where I have clubs and your relations. Yes, when I was seated here, this place was shaking. And I was asking myself what has happened. Kumbe, it's the powers that you have been granted to you. Congratulations to yourselves. I remember when I was admitted a couple of years back. At least I can also say that I was admitted by Chief Justice Hancock. That is about 4 years ago. It was no mean of feat during that day. Today I know you guys are extremely excited. You are happy. Your parents are happy. Kenya is happy. Where are the clubs for those kind of happiness? I just want to make very few remarks because today, Chief Justice, is not our day. This is actually a day for the Chief Justice. But she has very graciously allowed us to make a few remarks, a few observations, and a few experiences that we have gone through so that they can also help to guide you in your journey in the legal profession. So, therefore, it's a profound honor for me to join your parents, to join everybody else, to welcome you to the legal profession as learned colleagues. Today, you have now the right to call yourself learned colleague. I'm sure you've been doing it, but officially, you are now my learned colleagues. To each one of you, congratulations. Your journey to this point has been as a result of discipline, as a result of endurance, a deep commitment to learning. Today affirms that you have satisfied, you have met the requirements, you have met the necessary qualifications, you met all that was required. Remember, the Office of the Attorney General superintends the Kenya School of Law. So I can confirm from my principal here, Dr. Henry Mutai, that you guys went to class. Na mulifanya kazi. Tupigie makofi. And I can also confirm from my good friend here, Professor Chuck Mwimali. Professor Imi did not come with the, with the written, speeches. He came and said, yes, I confirm. These people passed their exams. Congratulations. As you take your place at the bar, allow me to share 3 reflections that I hope will guide you in the years ahead. First, embrace the responsibility that comes with this privilege. The title, Advocate of the High Court of Kenya, is a call to service. You inherit a legacy built by men and women who stood fearlessly for the rule of law, sometimes at great personal cost. We have had issues of what has happened in the last 1 year, last year. Those are not very easy moments in the history of our country. But as lawyers, we also have a responsibility that as we raise issues, as we deal with the challenges that face us, remember that at the end of the day, we have a country that we all belong to and that we must seek to ensure that the country remains one. Let integrity be your constant companion. In every brief you take, in every client you advise, in every courtroom you enter, let the truth guide you and professionalism define you. My second issue, see yourself as a partner in strengthening our justice system. Don't be the weak link. The administration of justice is a collective endeavor. The courts, the PAR, the Office of the Attorney General, and all justice sector institutions depend on one another to ensure fairness, efficiency, and access to justice. Whether you practice in litigation, commercial advisory, public service, academia, or emerging fields of law, your competency and conduct will shape public confidence in the system we all serve. Be the advocate who contributes solutions and not obstacles, who advances justice, not delay, who elevates the profession and not diminishes it. The third approach the future with courage and curiosity. The world you are entering in is complex, defined by technological advancements, new business models, evolving public expectations. There is something that has come up that we call public participation, where even the public that we thought did not understand or did not know, they know better than we do. The law will continue to change, and so must you. Commit to continuous learning, explore new practice areas, be open to innovation, and above all, ground your growth in values that endure even as the world transforms around you. I remember when we started practice, the very first thing that we used to be told is running down matters. And I'm sure I was consulting with my brother, Honorable Philip Murgo, that those who did running down and ran with people's money and ran with blood, finally the running down matters ran over them. They are not there. So I do not want these brilliant minds who are now advocates to follow into that route. There are many areas now in the legal profession that you need to look at and ensure that that would help you. The Office of the Attorney General serves as the principal legal advisor to the government, and therefore in this capacity I want to assure you that the State Law Office remains committed to fostering the environment where the rule of law thrives, where legal practice is respected, where justice is accessible to all, and we look forward to join you in championing all these ideals. And as I speak here, I also am aware that there are pupils under my tutelage, but have today become advocates. See, they can stand that they are also from from the State Law Office, those who trained under the State Law Office, just stand so that the testament that is the State Law Office also, give them a hearty clap. Thank you. Just sit down. And at this level, I also want to recognize one very special person, the CEO of Kenya Power Lighting, Engineer Joseph Sirol. Give him a hearty clap. Give him a good clap. I just want to tell you one. He is a parent. He's an engineer. Besides, he's the managing director of Kenya Power. But out of that very busy schedule, he has managed today to be admitted with you. So that should challenge us, the young team that is joining the legal profession, that we have a lot that lies ahead of us. Today, you step into a profession that will challenge you, that will stretch you, and at times even test you. But it will also reward you with purpose, as well as with the satisfaction of knowing that your work matters. Because every affidavit that you will draft, every legal opinion that you will offer, every submission you will make contributes to shaping the character of justice in our country. Use your voice to defend the voiceless. Use your knowledge to advance justice, and your expertise to strengthen our great Republic of Kenya. Before I conclude, I'll tell you that you have entered a noble profession, one that takes a long period of training. There is no any other profession that takes this long period for you to be trained. There are other professions where you would have shortcuts, but there is no shortcut in the legal profession. Please, as you proceed to now practice what you have, done for many years, don't take any shortcuts in the work that you do, because they may end your career prematurely. In conclusion, I want to reiterate congratulations once again on achieving this monumental feat. May you serve with dedication, professionalism, and unwavering commitment to the rule of law, and I wish each of you a distinguished and impactful career. God bless you.
Thank you so much, Honorable Shadrach Mose, Solicitor General. I noted that you are no longer clapping. I'll soon hand you over to someone who will make it an order that you clap for those who give you advice. Let me join the rest by saying hongera and wish you well in your career. My name is Moses Wanjala. At this point, I want to welcome the Chief Registrar of the Judiciary to give her remarks, and thereafter welcome the Deputy Chief Justice. Karibu.
My Lady, the Chief Justice and President of the Supreme Court of Kenya, Honorable Justice Martha Koome, my Lady, the Deputy Chief Justice and Vice President of the Supreme Court of Kenya, Honorable Philomena Mbete Mwilu, allow me to ride on the protocols that have already been established in the interest of time, but also to recognize all the guests who are present with us, and more specifically, our chief guests today, the new entrants to the legal profession, my learned friends, good morning. It is afternoon? It is still morning. Today's admission of 920 advocates to the bar is a momentous event that bodes well for the future of the legal profession in Kenya. Indeed, my lady, this is the highest number of advocates that you have admitted in one single sitting. For more than 1 month, my office has been receiving the petitions of this new cohort of advocates. They were duly gazetted by the Council of Legal Education, and I'm happy that the CEO has stood here and certified, confirming that you fulfilled the necessary requirements to serve as advocates of the High Court of Kenya. To the new advocates, I have deep appreciation for the hurdles that you have had to surmount to reach this moment. I stood where you stand today, 29 years ago, and my classmates who have spoken ahead of me, Madam Waruhio and Dr. Henry, we were together. And I know firsthand that the journey was not easy then, just as it is not easy now. Your admission to the bar is a profound milestone, and through years of discipline, sacrifice, relentless effort, and unwavering focus, you have climbed a very steep mountain to be here, and you deserve to serve at this moment with pride and gratitude. May we appreciate ourselves once again. It is said that the future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. And you believed in your dream. You embraced it, and gallantly fought the numerous obstacles that threatened to drown it. But let me remind you that admission to the bar is not merely a personal achievement. It is a conferment of a profound public trust. To become a lawyer is to enter a profession that is defined by duty, anchored in ethics, and driven by an unrelenting commitment to do good. Ours is not a career of convenience. It is a calling. And standing where you stand today, there are various lessons that I have learned and that have guided my every step of the journey today. And I want to offer a few of those lessons to you with humility and conviction. First is that excellence is a daily discipline and not an event. And secondly, that integrity will open more doors than brilliance will. And I'm happy that all the speakers who have stood here have said the one thing that is important is integrity. And third, that your reputation is your most valuable asset, and you have to guard it fiercely. For once it is lost, it is never fully restored. These truths have anchored for me 29 years on, and I want to commend them to you as you begin your own pilgrimage in this noble profession. It will nonetheless be remiss of me not to remind you also of some essentials that you must never lose sight of in your service to the people of Kenya. Speaking to a class of graduates at the Harvard Law University, one renowned personality said that you must always do the right thing,
no matter how hard that may seem. And as you begin your service as advocates, you will inevitably encounter moments that demand a clear moral choice. There will be times when the unethical path will seem easier, more rewarding, or more convenient than the ethical one. And when those moments come, choose integrity. Stand firm regardless of the pressure around you. Guard your conscience and resist every temptation to compromise the sanctity of the justice system that you are now entrusted to uphold. And one of the benefits of having a clear conscience is that you have a good night's sleep. Remember that what the Bible tells us in Galatians 6, verse 7 to 9, it speaks of the law of sowing and reaping. This is real in every area of our lives. Your everyday actions amount to sowing, and whatever you sow, that also you will reap. You can never run away from the consequences of your actions. And in the words of the late American writer Stephen Covey, he said that we are free to choose our actions, but we are not free to choose the consequences of these actions. Let fidelity to the rule of law be the guiding light in the journey of your career. In serving as an advocate, please purpose also to uphold the values that are enshrined in Article 10 and 232 of the Constitution. Guard against actions that amount to miscarriage of justice, and never forget that there is nothing more honorable. There is nothing honorable where justice is absent. Be unyielding ambassadors of justice. Your ladyship, in total, you have admitted 1,869 candidates to the bar this year alone. This is a significant number and a worthy addition to the profession. As the country's population continues to rise, we need more lawyers to serve in various capacities, and I encourage all the new entrants to the profession to put their best foot forward and serve with integrity. The competition is stiff, but with due diligence, nothing stops you from excelling in your career. And I take this opportunity to also let you know that the judiciary remains one of the country's premier employers, offering diverse pathways for professional growth. I encourage you to remain alert to the many opportunities that are available and that align with your passion and expertise, and to position yourselves boldly for the roles where your skills can strengthen the administration of justice. Honorable Chief Justice, let me conclude by appreciating the various stakeholders who are present with us here today: the Law Society, the Council of Legal Education, the Office of the Attorney General, the ODPP, the Witness Protection Unit, among others. We want to say thank you. And I acknowledge the critical role that you have played in making this event a success. Once again, I congratulate you all, our new advocates, and wish you well in your career. May you enjoy a long and deeply enriching career. May you receive favor from God and the people around you, and may all things work together for your good. You should say amen at that point. It is now my singular honor and pleasure to invite the Honorable Deputy Chief Justice to give her remarks. Karibu sana, Honorable Deputy.
I seek to be forgiven by those that are not lawyers in the House, because I want to start at this point. that there is more than 920 of us in this room that are advocates of the High Court of Kenya. And since you're the reason we are here, let that be my starting point. And so, first, heartiest congratulations to the 920 of us that have walked a long journey to where we are. Heartiest congratulations to you all. Honorable Chief Justice and all colleagues on this side, and now my learned friends on this side, welcome to the honorable profession of law. I will be speaking to you, acknowledging the fact that we've been talking to you since 9:30, and your minds must be overloaded with pieces of advice. I don't know how many of those will remember now, but you may remember them later. Let me just add one or two words, which is this, and let's start from the oath you took this morning. I just hope to God that you are not reading a piece of paper, but that you acknowledge the import of that oath. For you, that must remain your true north. And at the end of that oath, after promising a number of things within the oath, I heard you say that God ought to do what? That God should do what? God will help you if you want to be helped, and He will help you if you deserve to be helped. But please always remember that oath. It is the culmination of all the many years you have worked. And today is your greatest day of pride. But I want you to temper your pride with gratitude. First to God, that He has made this possible for you. But please remember everyone on your path who made today possible. Starting with your parents, who sacrificed a lot to take you to school. The family that gave you support. Your teachers in nursery, primary, secondary, university, and professor for ensuring, after Henry had done his part, that you are fit for purpose. Share today's pride with a sense of gratitude to those people, to the friends along the path who mentored and guided you. When it seemed difficult, a word of encouragement may have been all that you needed to remain on the path. So may the oath that you took this morning remain your true north, and may the Lord God walk with you in what I hope will be a very long and satisfying profession. The second thing I must say, sitting where I do, is that you can choose what you want to do with what you have gotten today. So the choice is yours. You can choose to do the right thing. You can choose to do that which is not right. But let me just remind you, what you already know, all of us in this room are over 18, there is no right way of doing the wrong thing. So go forth and do the right thing. And may you be the greatest of advocates yet, and welcome to the noble profession of the practice of law, whichever path you choose to take. Congratulations, fellow advocates. It's now my honored privilege and duty to ask that you join me in welcoming the Honorable the Chief Justice, our chief guest today, after you, of course, that she continues in the path that we started since 9:30 and gives us words of wisdom on what to do and what not to do. Please join me in welcoming the Honorable the Chief Justice.
Thank you. May we please be seated? Thank you very much, my sister, the Honorable Deputy Chief Justice and Vice President of the Supreme Court. I also recognize all our distinguished guests, the speakers this morning, and I wish to stand on the established protocols, recognizing also our dear parents, many of them who are joining us online, our guardians, friends. I see our colleague judges here, led by the Honorable Mr. Justice Raibuta, Judge of the Court of Appeal. I see PJ Otieno, Ziokiwa Macau, all of you dear friends. I see my MP, Honorable Sarah Correra. I come from Laikipia North. Thank you for coming to encourage us. Our guests today, our 920 distinguished advocates, learned friends, a very good afternoon. Wow, you look fabulous. You look impeccably smart. You look well-dressed, well-groomed, and confident. I'm so proud of you. Keep it up. I think I'm going to consult you so that I can know who are your stylists. I've just been watching, many things. The shoes, the hairstyles, the makeup, the suits. This is how you keep it. So, you've been told many, many great words, profound words, very edifying words of wisdom by the speakers who have spoken. And I hope you are taking note of them. And if there is nothing you can take out of it all, take this one. That if you work hard, if you distinguish yourself in every little thing that you're given to do, and you stick to the narrow and straight, the path, the ethical path, you will never be struck off the law. And as I was dealing with your files to satisfy myself that I could admit you today, the naysayers that we are admitting too many, I asked, why are you being threatened by people who are joining the profession? Oh, they are half-baked. I said, I looked at their papers, they are well qualified, they were tested and examined and found suitable. Who are these naysayers to tell you you are half-baked? What did they do to support you? So please, what I would like to tell you today is be confident that you're well qualified, you're well skilled to be an advocate, to be called a learned friend, and nobody should discourage you. Indeed, if anybody did that, tell them to give you 3, 4, 5 years or 18 years, and they will see where you're going to be, exactly where they are. So therefore, no one should discourage you. More so, the people who went to the same universities you went to, the same law schools you went to, I myself sat where you are in 1987, and I did that. I also, people have bragged about their classmates. I also have classmates around. I have the Honorable Mr. Justice Raibuta and Mr. McCourt were my classmates. When we sat where you are, I think it must be that 8 years ago, also filled with joy to celebrate the journey we had walked, especially those who had walked the journey from the trenches of poverty in the rural areas, in the rural villages, to come here. And all we were armed with is the hope that God who lifted us from that far place and brought us here, brought us to Nairobi, brought us to the law school, and brought us to the admission, will never leave us. And this is the same message we are giving you today. There is space for each one of you. There's room for each one of you to grow. You are being told this is a country full of opportunities, a country of 55 million people, therefore 27,000 lawyers is just a drop in the bucket. There is room for each one of you. So if there is nothing else for you to take home, is that you are as good as the next person, and no one should discourage you from working hard and getting to the very best that you can get. So today, it gives me great joy and pride to congratulate each one of you on your admission to the role of advocates of the High Court of Kenya. Today, you take your rightful place within a noble and historic profession, joining generations of men and women who have shaped the legal order of our country and defended the cause of justice. Today, you are champions of justice. You are missionaries of justice. This moment marks a profound transition from learning about the law to practicing it, and from being a student to becoming a custodian of the Constitution and becoming an officer of the court. Yet, even as you celebrate this milestone, remember that learning in the legal profession never ends. That is why we have colleagues who are well established in engineering, in the corporate world, still joining the legal profession and wanting to know and learn and increase their knowledge in the law. You are now my learned friends, not because you have completed your studies, but because you have committed yourselves to a lifetime of continuous learning, curiosity, and growth. As you begin this journey, allow me to share a few reflections on what it means to be a worthy member of the legal profession within our transformative 2010 Constitution. The ideal advocate is first and foremost guided, as you have been told, by all the speakers, one who is guided by strong professional ethics. This means embracing high standards of diligence, integrity, and competence. It also means recognizing that you are partners with the judiciary and all other actors in the administration of justice. We rely on your research, we rely on your creativity, and your principled arguments to help develop a very progressive social justice jurisprudence that gives life to the values of our Constitution. To achieve this, always consider yourselves part of the solution. First of all, to the case backlogs that we have, and embracing what we are calling the multi-door approach to access to justice. Abandon practices that have historically hindered timely resolution of cases, unnecessary adjournments, technical maneuvers that lack substance, and interlocutory applications designed to delay the hearing of cases. Instead, embrace the constitutional call to focus on substantive justice. Support the use of alternative dispute resolution and community-based justice mechanisms, and help us shift our justice system towards efficiency, fairness, and innovation. The other value is personal ethics, which is equally essential. Your conduct, both inside and outside the courtroom, defines your character as an advocate. Central to this is civility and collegiality in your interactions with the bench and the bar. The bar-bench relationship has always remained the backbone of a functional justice system. Robust arguments are always welcome. Indeed, it is the engine of the legal development, but it must be offered with courtesy and respect. You may disagree with a judge or a judicial officer, or even with a colleague, but to do so, do it with dignity. Disgrace without being disagreeable. Disagree without being disagreeable. The quality of justice in our country improves when bench and bar work collaboratively, guided by mutual respect and a shared purpose. Our business is to ensure fairness and justice. Allow me also to speak directly about the growing concern of professional misconduct in public spaces, especially on social media. The greatest threat to the dignity of the legal profession today is not only misconduct in courtrooms, but the tone, content, and behavior exhibited by some of us online. When advocates insult judges, abuse colleagues, engage in public theatrics, or trivialize serious legal matters for entertainment or clout, the entire reputation and esteem of the profession is diminished. Respect for the profession is not demanded. It is earned through conduct. Let us not turn this noble profession into a laughingstock through reckless social media posts and intemperate commentary. Let us guard our words, guard our reputation, guard the honor of the calling of the profession you have joined today. Hold it to the highest esteem. You have worked so many years to reach where you are, and therefore it is good to nurture and protect this that you have invested so much in. Another cornerstone of personal ethics is integrity in financial and client matters. You have been given good examples by our Solicitor General of advocates who went on to enrich themselves with clients' monies as if they are the ones who are injured in the road traffic accidents, and then eventually they ended up being run over in the running down matters. So let none of 920 advocates here become a victim of that malpractice. There is no tragedy greater than advocates who betray the trust of their clients, whether by misappropriating compensation, money due from an accident, due to victims, depriving widows and children of their rightful inheritance, or mishandling funds entrusted to them. Such conduct violates our ethics and even our very value of caring for one another, what we call utu, that grounds our constitutional order. Let yours be the generation that draws a firm line in the sand and brings an end to these shameful practices. If you honor your clients and manage their affairs responsibly, your practice will flourish and the profession will regain the trust it very well deserves. I practiced law for 15 years, and I can assure you the reputation is the only thing that you have to give to your clients. Once you serve one client, they keep sending another and another. I can see the Vice President of the Law Society and the President of the East Africa Law Society nodding to this. Equally important is your commitment to the society we live in. The law is not merely a profession. It is a calling to advance justice, equality, and the common good. We owe it to the future generations. The ideal advocate is compassionate and socially conscious. I urge you to use your skills to defend the vulnerable. Madam President mentioned the poor, the victims of gender-based violence, children, persons with disability, and people from the marginalized community. Offer pro bono services when you can. My practice was majorly pro bono, but I always received in equal measure. When I gave out, I received clients who paid me handsomely to do a conveyance because I've spent the whole day in court pursuing pro bono briefs. Stand firm against injustice. I did that also. Stand firm against discrimination and exploitation. The legal profession was never meant to be purely transactional. It is an instrument of social transformation. Let me also assure you that this profession has space, like I said, for each one of you. Do not fear that the field is crowded or the opportunities are limited. Our country still has vast underserved areas, underserved counties where you will not even find 5 practicing advocates. Sub-counties where there is not even a single advocate, where legal services remain scarce. Communities that struggle to find even a single advocate among themselves, and justice seekers who must travel long distances to seek legal advice. Go where you are needed. Innovate, build new practice areas, establish partnerships. Kenya requires your talent in the courtrooms, in the boardrooms, in counties, in public service, in community justice initiatives, and in emerging fields such as privacy, data protection law, climate justice, fintech regulation, and international dispute resolution, like the President of the East Africa Law Society has said. All these cities, all these countries in the 7 East Africa regional bloc require advocates. The opportunities before you are limitless for those who are bold, for those who are ethical, and for those who are hardworking and committed. For those who will join the judiciary or other sectors of public service, you've been invited to join the DPP, to join the AG. Your law carries an additional constitutional burden. Article 10 and Chapter 6 of the Constitution demand integrity, transparency, accountability, and moral courage. Of all those, standing where I stand as a Chief Justice, these are essential values. But the most important one is courage. I think I have established a machine to manufacture for me courage all the time, every day. Allow me to take this opportunity to assure Kenyans and to assure the 920 learned friends here today that the judiciary remains firm in upholding zero tolerance towards corruption. Senior Council Chair spoke about corruption, and indeed it is the greatest challenge we are facing in this country today. We in the judiciary decided this is a difficult conversation, but one that we must engage in every day. And this is why in every court station, we are always having even a daily briefing to tell Kenyans, here in the judiciary, we don't take bribes. And if somebody is asking for a bribe, please report. It is a crime. We are speaking about this until we are sounding like a broken record. But it is a conversation I'm inviting the 920 of you to carry forward. You will be looking for jobs. You will be looking for briefs. You will be looking for a livelihood. Why would you be struggling for your own livelihood and to pay somebody else whom you are paying through taxes? So I'll be inviting you to say no to corruption, no to bribery. You should say amen to that. So anyone who amongst you aspires to join the bench, you must be prepared to live by the highest ethical standards. As you begin this journey, carry yourselves with humility, discipline, and a deep sense of responsibility. Uphold professional ethics, personal ethics, and social ethics. Uphold the dignity of the legal profession on the streets, in the courtroom, in your offices, and in the dignified public square. Today, you inherit a proud tradition. Let your conduct reflect the honor of that tradition. Once again, I congratulate you on this remarkable achievement. I also invite you in this journey to be disciplined, including in financial management. The Honorable DCJ spoke to you. She is the chairperson of the giant Sheria Circle that helps us in the judiciary and the legal sector. I think all of us are members of Sheria Circle, but it is the one that helps us save our money, borrow money when we need money, educate our children, build our house or buy a house. So today, and I always do this, I tell you, you've been congratulated by your parents, your guardians, your friends. They have sent you M-Pesa. How many have been sent M-Pesa? Yes, all of you today. I invite you out there to visit that Sheria Circle tent and open an account. Many years down the line, you will remember me. You will remember the Honorable Deputy Chief Justice, who is the chair of Sheria Circle, that we encouraged you to get into the culture of disciplined saving. And this saving will help you one day. It will also give you the discipline of living within your means. So I will continue to hold your hand as your Chief Justice. I think I have now admitted almost 10,000 of the 27,000 advocates. I think I am the Chief Justice who has admitted most advocates. And because I always say the more the merrier. And since I've admitted those 10,000, I have not been brought any to strike off the roll. And we are not just going to begin now with the 920. So we are going to walk this journey. I offer myself to mentor you, to hold your hand, and to pray for you. And my prayers for you did not just start today. It started when I started interacting with the many files that were brought so that I could admit 920. And some people were saying so that we can escape from the attacks of the social media, if we can admit half of you, 450. I showed them the door. I said, these are our children. They have gone to school so many years. I can't imagine somebody who has gone to school so many years, being taught, tested, examined, and certified. Then I hold them back from admission, from counting their days of seniority, simply because we fear social media. I said, Shaitani ashindwe. And I said, I will admit all of you, and all of you are going to succeed in this legal profession. And you're going to go far in exploits, in academia. You're going to increase your knowledge. And may your work advance justice. May your work strengthen our nation and bring dignity, not only to yourselves, to your families, to your communities, but also to this great profession. May many Kenyans seek your counsel and be very, very proud of you the way I am. Thank you very much. God bless you. Enjoy your day and enjoy being called learned friends. Hold your hands high. Walk with dignity.
Thank you, Chief Justice, and all who have made this possible. We have come to the end of our formal program. We'll end with a prayer, which is our national anthem. The first stanza, please.
Mungu nguvu yetu,
I thought there's an East African band. We'll do with that. Let's be seated, please. Our very final session is the photo session. We will take the photo at the stairs in groups of 50. We were praying that we have a shade to cover us, and it has come, so we will not be exposed to the sun. I'll ask our So, from number 1 to 50, just stand up so that we can take a few of your chairs for our guests to sit.